what were we talking about?
We're talking
Passion.
about yeah, and passion
So
doesn't
choosing
pay
to,
bills. Yeah.
they used to feel proud of just that, of
Yeah.
me watching sports. That's it.
ये जो तुम बातें बोल रही हो ना, the sound music to my ears.
No pressure on
No
me.
pressure, no pressure. So we had just started recording, and I don't need to introduce Akriti because that's a lot of pressure on me. Akriti is a dear friend. I've known her for a while now. I've worked with her,
Oops.
and I can assure everyone that she's not this haphazard in in real life. So Akriti is here. Akriti, thank you for being part of this. And this is not a usual Tales from a Sports Tragic episode, but because I know you through sports and we have kind of worked and dabbled in sports together, so I thought I'll start off with that. He, I mean, where does where does this association start with sports? Where does it begin? What's your first memory of sports in general?
Okay, thank you firstly for having me. So for me, I think the first memory. So my parents don't watch sports. I'm from a nuclear family. My
Yeah.
parents don't watch sports. My sister was in a hostel when I was, when I was growing up. So, or I was vice versa. But I never got that at home, except my grandfather, who's in a joint family, and my parents' side, all the grandfathers, they really watch cricket. So I remember when my sister had come home, when she was studying for boards, she was studying in my grandparents' house, and at the time, the 2003 World Cup was going on. So that is when it started for me. I was a 9-year old, and I started enjoying. I started asking absurd questions in the first innings, saying, testing my grandfather, who's going to win this match, and he had no answer because in the 20th over of the first innings he was like, I don't know who's going to win the match. But that's where it started. I started enjoying it so much that my father, who's a doctor, he used to get these CDs of matches,
Yeah.
like a highlight reel,
Yeah.
but like the entire series or the entire work. So during the 2003 World Cup, he got this CD of the 2002 NatWest series,
Hmm.
which then I managed to go through, and yeah, I fell in love with cricket. The Obviously, how much ever I understood, but it, it was very formative at the time. I used to remember everything that I watched. I would participate in small quizzes, send in answers in Sportstar. I used to started collecting the Sportstar uh, posters, doing all of that, and then yeah, it just took off from there. So cricket has been the first uh, in an induction into sports watching. Yeah.
That's very interesting क्योंकि यार बचपन की आदतें तो सारी इनहेरिटेंस ही होती हैं, इनहेरिटेड होती है रादर पेरेंट्स से. तो मेरी तो
Correct.
मजबूरी थी क्योंकि पापा क्रिकेट प्लेयर थे. एंड आई couldn't have not been into sports. I mean, Papa was a cricket coach. My house basically was like a cricket academy on its own. Ma used to make like incredible number of rotis on every match day that our team played. Most
Hmm.
discussions kind of revolved around sports, but and that's why I'm kind of curious to know this because दादाजी तो चलो ठीक है क्योंकि तुमने बताया कि न्यूक्लियर फैमिली थी, पर मम्मी पापा से क्या इनहेरिट किया आकृति? मतलब लिटरेचर इनहेरिट किया, म्यूजिक इनहेरिट किया, क्या किया? क्योंकि मुझे पता है तुम्हें काफी दिलचस्पी है उन सब चीजों में भी, पर घर पे क्या
Right.
उठाया? या दीदी से फॉर दैट
So
मैटर.
so I think I'm really, I think I've always been extremely influenced by my grandfather,
या
Baba. Unka, he was a Hindi novelist,
या
and my mom also, she's PhD in Hindi literature. तो वो भी Hindi poems और Hindi literature हमेशा से ही बहुत ज्यादा, although I don't think मैंने इतना it's not as if I went out of my way to consume it, but it was just there. हम लोग का ये उस टाइम पे शाहजहांपुर में स्पिक के वाज आल्सो वेरी एक्टिव, तो बहुत सारे प्लेज होते थे टाउन हॉल में, बहुत सारे, आई डोंट नो हाउ वी गॉट सो लकी इन अ स्मॉल सिटी इन यूपी, जहाँ पे यू नो देयर वाज हरि प्रसाद चौरसिया के कॉन्सर्ट्स होते थे, राजन साजन मिश्रा आते थे, वो Speak McKay is incredible if for anyone
Yeah.
who does not know, but somehow that kind of that growing up in the early 2000s, it was really active plays, और कल्चरली काफी कुछ हो रहा था वहाँ पे, कोई ना कोई एक्टिविटी होती थी, तो आई थिंक this is probably what, and my mom also was inclined towards music a lot. I've always, despite my father being a doctor, I've never had that kind of an academic pressure at home at all. So I think that actually ensured that I did decently academically. And side by side ये सब चलता गया, क्योंकि मुझे हमेशा से बहुत ज़्यादा ये active, like, you know, I was privileged enough to experience all this, and उसके बाद भी उसके, you know, in school जब मैं boarding में गई, वहाँ पे भी activities का बहुत ज़्यादा वो था, like pressure, उसमें studies में इतना pressure नहीं था, but activities and games and all, and thankfully even Speak McKay was very active in Dehradun. So from there, that love kind of also became, you know, studying Hindustani classical music. So yeah, I think घर से ये वाला literature and drama and music, that kind of began from home.
Very interesting, because मेरी दादी भी बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ती थी, and I didn't actually. My father was someone who dabbled in literature as well, which I kind of did later in my life. But पापा की जो किताबें थी ना, वो बड़ी out of reach लगती थी यार मुझे. मतलब मैंने कभी गोरकी उठाया नहीं जब तक मैं कॉलेज नहीं गया. मैंने कभी एना कैरेनिना पढ़ने का नहीं सोचा था जब मैं स्कूल में था. तो दादी की पढ़ाई बहुत आध्यात्म सेंट्रिक थी, if that's the right way to put it. पर because in some way, and that's why what you said, I'm just building on that, is that your grandparents have more time for you, right? Because your parents are kind of busy with their lives. They seem to have a bigger impact, at least while you're growing up. Is that true for you as well? Because you talk very fondly about your Baba.
Yeah. So I don't know when it happened, but I have always been, growing up also, from the earliest memories that I have, I've always been about lists, about routine, about waking up at this time, sleeping at this time, you know, like I've always, even the old diaries that I go through, मेरे में वो लिखा होता है कि okay, 8 a.m. I'll wake up, 9 to 10 I will read this, and so on and so forth. And I realized that comes from Baba mostly, because मैंने उनको हमेशा से so we lived, like, while we lived in separate houses, it's really close to home, so obviously we used to be there a lot, और weekends वगैरह हम वहीं पे ज़्यादातर रहते थे. तो बाबा used to wake up at 4 a.m. वो अपनी जाके चाय बनाते थे, फिर आते थे, फिर वो you know, like studying, वो 2.5 घंटे के लिए पढ़ते थे, उसके बाद वो अपना टाइपराइटर निकालते थे, and actually उनका first draft obviously used to be handwritten, then he used to start writing. And then he would have lunch, afternoon tea, then read for another 2.5 hours. Then in his second draft, you know, get on the typewriter. So anyway, he was also very methodical कि अच्छा 4 बजे की news सुननी है, 6 बजे transistor खुलेगा. You know, if there was a match, then, you know, seeing him actually take a break from his reading time, or from, you know, it was like a reward for him to be watching a match for, you know, for some time. But like always, even with a profession like author, like he was a stenographer, but then he became an author full time. So even with something like that, he was so disciplined That is something that I have, inculcated somehow. I've also inculcated some of his bad habits. Like I am also extremely rigid. I am not very flexible. I also get flustered over the tiniest thing. TV nahi chal raha hai, so I will call up the cable guy for 10 hours and pester him. So, I've also picked those annoying things, but I'm very glad to have sort of taken this from him. And yeah, I'm very proud of it too.
No, I mean, जब time बिताओगी तो थोड़ा बहुत तो जो conventional बुरी आते हैं वो भी pass on हो ही जाती है. So I think that's completely fine, and that's kind of natural course of action over there. But you also mentioned about hostel. So when did you move to boarding school? And
So
how did these activities, everything that you used to do while you were at home, kind of get transferred? Because distractions भी बहुत होते हैं ना, नई जिंदगी होती है बिल्कुल. So how did that happen? Yeah.
So because being being from Shahjahanpur, there were not very good schools there. There were decent schools, but they were not great schools. My parents wanted to send me to a good school, and they also they worked hard to make sure that happened for both my sister and me. Of course, privilege is also there, but yeah, and I also worked hard because I went at 10 years of age. I went in class 5th, and there was a proper entrance exam, which feels like that if you have like an quota factory or an aspirants for like 10-year-olds, then it might be close to that. My I went to Elam Girls School. There was an entrance. I think about 5,000-6,000 people, kids sat for it, and 65 kids get admitted in the first batch.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy rate.
What is the process, if you don't mind me asking? Is there a written test followed by an interview?
There is correct.
Achha,
there is a written test. Written test is Hindi, English, Math, and life skills. A subject called life skills, which is kind of like reasoning, but with a little bit of it's more like reasoning wale jaise us type ke questions, but with a little bit of maybe moral science, little bit. And like life skills, I don't know how else to sort of describe. I think it's Hindi, English, Math only, and life skills. Yeah, 4 subjects. But there is a full test. So I went to my mom, and my mom rented a small place in Dehradun, and I took a 2-month coaching twice.
Okay, wow. Okay. That's a lot of hard work over there. Actually. Very nice.
That is a lot of hard work to get into an elite establishment. And there is obviously a lot wrong with it as well. But I mean, like, obviously parents are doing the best they know, and they have given me. A lot of people really take pride in it now that I know the kind of establishment that it is. There's a lot wrong as well, but there's a lot right, which so let's focus on the
absolutely
right.
I mean, a lot wrong can be delved into in 100 different ways, but that's what a 10-year-old is supposed to do. So
correct.
Tab kya sahi, kya galat. The fact that you studied 4 months for a entrance exam when you were 10 is quite it's quite mind boggling. फिर मतलब क्या हुआ, फिर उसके बाद इंटरव्यू भी हुआ तुम्हारा?
हाँ, तो उसके बाद, but so like for example, Doon School में I think the interview also carries weight. Here I think the written is almost 95% what matters. After that, they do have like an interview with you and the family, but it's more like a formality just to sort of confirm in a way. I think that's my understanding of it. But yeah, so then I got through there.
I'm very intrigued because you go on and I'll tell you about myself.
No, like when
how did the interview go? I mean, were you tense about it? What happened?
No, I did not. I knew that it mattered to my parents, and I kind of but I also knew that it mattered to them because of me, like, so that I get the best. Because my sister had also gone, not to the same boarding, she had gone in Ranikhet.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that, like it was not like a punishment kind of a thing. I was also excited.
Yeah.
If I'm working hard towards it, I kind of wanted it too.
Yeah.
That, like the excitement of it. And my parents never made it sound like ki punishment mil rahi hai, tumhe boarding bhej rahe hain, you have to stay away from home and all of that. So it was this like
Yeah.
charming thing. But then I got the announcement I've gotten through, and it was it was exciting. So what they do is they also
Yeah.
ask for when you have to join, they ask you for for two activities to select from. That will
Okay.
be the activities of your choice,
Okay.
which is each year. But
Yeah.
for the first year, obviously, you're coming in from there.
Hmm.
So I obviously chose music because
Yeah.
I had also been kind of learning even earlier, like from class 6 class 7 के गुरुजी आते थे, वो थोड़ा सा
हाँ.
basic वो करते थे.
Hmm.
So I chose music and I chose drama, and also they
Okay.
had a third language that you choose, which is obviously part of the study. So I chose Urdu for that.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's very
but
interesting actually, because I don't think too many people would choose Urdu. Or is that
yeah,
the
that was all.
is,
That was
is
all
that something
because
that
of
does
my
happen
mom.
in, well, acha, because of auntie? Okay.
Yeah, no, there too many people don't. Mostly
Yeah.
people choose Sanskrit, or there was also Punjabi, there was also Bengali, there
Huh.
was also yeah, I think these
But
three, and I think
all
French was also
vernacular.
there. But
All vernacular. Acha,
yeah,
apart
only
from French.
French was there, but
Okay.
I think it was introduced a little later.
Okay.
So I think in class 7th or something.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, so my mom told me that Sanskrit to padhte rehte hain, to fir just learn a new language and all. And I chose Urdu, and the two activities. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's how it happened. And then I realized that when after joining, that how much stress is given to activities. Like, of course,
Hmm.
आपका your classes happen. After that,
Hmm.
after lunch, you have full dedicated 2 hours to your activities.
Yeah.
And जैसे पहले दो होती हैं, उसके बाद it also, as you grow up, it goes down to one, so you can focus more on it. Then of course
Hmm.
my music, it became a subject for me in class 9, so it
Yeah.
was part of my board examination, तो वो और serious होता रहा.
Hmm.
And then after activities you have sports, so I had chosen basketball.
Nice.
And you also have, like, so sports, I feel that it's like maybe 60% or rather 50% academics, and 25 is to sports and activities.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. नहीं, काफी interesting है यार ये. Firstly, I mean, having known you for this long, I didn't know that you gave an entrance which was this tough to get into school.
Yeah.
हमारा तो बड़ा ही दिलचस्प सा entrance था नर्सरी में. पहले तो
We were in the
actually
same school throughout, like?
throughout, yeah,
Okay.
I basically took admission in nursery, and through nursery to class 12th I was in the same school. तो पहले क्या था कि पापा और मम्मी दोनों हिंदी मीडियम में उनकी पढ़ाई हुई थी. तो पहले तो ये बहुत एम्फसाइज हो गया कि इंग्लिश मीडियम में एंट्रेंस मतलब वो टेस्ट देना है. आई मीन I hadn't heard of the word entrance till then, which I kind of later got obsessed with later in life. But test dena was something that I was prepared for. So the usual that Ma would sit with me, make me write, and maths problems and everything. But I remember very distinctly two things from that interview, which I did clear eventually. But and those two things are constant. One is an answer that I still don't know an answer of. I mean, I can easily Google it now, but I think for the sake of nostalgia, I don't want to know. Just very basic. So they asked me a bunch of questions, and then they showed me, one of those ग्लास बॉटल्स जिसके अंदर माचिस से घर या ऐसा कुछ बनाते हैं ना, नाव बनाते हैं. इट लुक्स वेरी, है ना. सो दे आस्क्ड मी ये कैसे बना, एंड I was obviously blank. I was like, and while he asked me that, and that's something that still happens to me. It happens to me while I'm working. Anytime that I'm scared, it used to happen a lot when I was, giving entrance exams. It used to happen a lot during university exams. In cricket matches, anytime that I'm nervous, actually, basically, I start sweating. It's a very normal phenomenon that you start sweating from your armpits, right? You get very. I think that's the first time I remember clearly that I was like really nervous कि यहाँ नहीं हुआ, because it was built up कि English medium में admission लेना है. And yeah, but school was very different. And there was no, like you mentioned, there was no proper emphasis on extracurricular activities or co-curricular activities. It just happened. I mean, uh, things were just picked up. We picked up things. We kind of things happened along the way, but it was never structured, which I'm kind of very jealous of now that I hear you talk about it. But
Yeah.
I coming back to your schooling, and because you mentioned basketball, and I just mentioned it on my own that you represented Welham girls in basketball, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
So,
I played
हाँ,
up to states.
हाँ.
So yeah, Vellum and
तो
Dehradun.
तो मतलब कैसा होता था आकृति, मतलब कि लोग ग्राउंड में देखने आए हैं, मतलब कोर्ट के
Arey,
पास में खड़े हैं, कैसा
it
कैसी फीलिंग थी?
it was insane. I mean, honestly, the basketball players in our school, and I only played till class eighth. After that, I pretty much didn't.
Hmm.
But you know, the basketball players in our school, the basketball captain, or the basically the team, they were actually the like the heroes for
Hmm.
everyone. Like everyone
स्टार्स
had,
स्टार थे स्कूल
they
के
were the
मतलब.
stars
हाँ,
proper. Yeah,
हाँ.
like जैसे jock आप imagine करेंगे, and pretty much anywhere else in a boys school or in
Hmm.
a co-ed school, whatever.
Hmm.
That team is like, you know, when they are walking, like you have that kind of that chord,
Yeah.
and people are looking up to you like that. Like we had,
हाँ.
as you know, we had like so many cheers. The whole school used to
Yeah.
assemble when our
Yeah.
team was it was like a school match,
Yeah.
and you know, the auditorium was packed. And
Yeah.
imagine the pressure on obviously the other team when everyone is cheering and everyone is behind you. It was insane. You felt so special,
Hmm.
and yeah, yeah,
But apart from feeling special, and I'll ask this because I mean, having played sports myself or
yeah.
done a bunch of co-curricular activities, and because you mentioned singing as well or dramatics for that matter, you know, the way basketball or say cricket or football kind of eases you a little bit is because you're part of a team, right? You're not in this alone. Not everyone is
Hmm,
cheering only for you.
correct.
So was that feeling different than, you know, going and say singing in front of an audience, which is a filled auditorium as well? Was it any different? How did that feel? How did sports feel different, or was it different at all? That's
Right.
my yeah.
Yeah. So I think when we, for example, in class 11 and 12th, you could be part of the school band
Hmm.
and also perform at Founders in an inform. There was like this one big dinner that used to happen for the parents
Hmm.
on our Founders Day celebration,
Hmm.
and after the main speech and the event, and that used to happen in the field, and the school band used to perform there. So you know, obviously in class 11, class 12, I did too, and that felt closer to the sports performances, because of the songs are a little bit, you know, they are more popular songs that you're singing. It's more of
Hmm.
a more casual environment.
Hmm.
So yes, that I think could be probably be equated, because again, but you are part of, you know, you are part of the band, and the band is also perceived to be cool. It is a cool
Yeah.
thing, just as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But when I was singing classical, and doing that alone or maybe with another person, uh, that was also, everyone was seated. It was in a inter school, inter house competitions. Parents were there. It
Hmm.
also felt special. The afterwards, everyone clapping for you, but you know that maybe only 10% of them actually are listening to classical music, right?
Yeah.
So I think people are more involved in sports. It's easier to sort of follow the, once you just know, especially sport like basketball is very very catchy.
Yeah.
It's fast paced,
Hmm.
and people generally, I think people are more involved in it,
Hmm.
and yeah, I think you also get to sort of show off a little bit more. You can also obviously arguably show off even while singing, but people might not catch it. People so yeah, I think playing sports feel might feel a little bit more special
Hmm. Very,
if you're good at it, maybe.
very, very interesting. I was just going to say that a lot would also depend on the result of your matches. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, Yeah.
हमारे
Even for example, even athletics, sorry,
yeah
but athletics हमारा वो भी founders पे होता था,
हाँ
and there was this tournament. Sorry, there was this trophy that was given to the best athlete, which
yeah
also there was like there was relay,
hmm
short sprints,
hmm
high jump, all of those things. So that was also very exciting, and everyone did assemble to watch it. I just feel people were more involved in sports, at least. Yeah,
I'm very
at least
curious
by.
because you have only mentioned the positive bits of it. So
Hmm.
I have this question for you is that ये बहुत लोगों से आप सुनते हो ना कि मतलब आप क्राउड के सामने नर्वस हो जाते हो और जैसे तुम बात कर रही हो और ऐसा is true for a lot of other people who are actually very good at it is that crowds
Hmm.
manage to make them perform better. So was that
Right.
the case? Did it inspire you? Did it kind of make you feel nervous? Which half are you?
I think jitna khela, it was again like it was not much
हाँ
because it was just the first 4 years.
हाँ
So usme to crowds always kind of they did kind of help
हम्म
in sports, and
हम्म
actually even in singing it helped. After
हम्म
the first bit, like I think I'll speak more for singing because I did
yeah
that throughout.
yeah
But when like when there was I tend to sort of do better in front of strangers than in front of people I know.
okay
So a full auditorium, the first, as you start and you're singing your first alap, the lights are in your face, you're not really able to see anything, so the nervousness is there for about like 5-10 seconds, and then I think the lights also sort of get dimmer, and then you look at everyone, and then you just, I mean, I just kind of caught on that energy, and just I think I did better.
काफी it's a very good point made by you over there and I'll just take you to another like query that I have from you is that you mentioned like say sports is also a performative art but it does not kind of provide you with a stage kind of a feeling, right? I mean, especially in a
Yeah.
team sport, you're never like the flashlight does not go directly on you. So it's
Yeah.
not that you cannot see your audience to begin with, yeah. But that does happen. Say when you write something, and you know that people are reading. You just can't see the people who are reading, and feedback is gonna come in later. Very, I mean, I've never been nervous knowing that I published an article. I've been nervous when my father was reading it. I've been nervous when my friends who I kind of
Yeah.
looked up to were reading it. But I didn't actually know it's similar. I mean, or maybe it's a bad
Yeah.
example, but it was similar to the flashlight being on your face and you can't see people acknowledging
Yeah.
or labeling or judging your work basically. तो जब लिखना शुरू किया तुमने बहुत जल्दी लिखना शुरू किया on football. I think you were in class 10, right? When you started
Yeah.
writing for a football publication. So
Yeah.
how did that come about? Were you nervous about how people were going to perceive someone who is still so young,
Yeah.
writing about a sport which is basically not being able to see, by the way? I'm sure you were not able to have the
Yeah.
same access that you do right now with sport. But how did that start? How did that feel to begin with? And how has the journey been of writing on sport since?
Right. So I think after I stopped playing, which was which was in class 9, I still kept watching, and then I just wanted to link, like be involved somehow still, and that came about. I also started writing for the school magazines, not on sports, but generally, like school ki cheezon ko cover karte the, that kind of thing. So I started enjoying it quite a bit. Or फिर that that natural link sort of came about with sports. I got suspended from school for possession of a phone.
Yeah,
um,
proud of you.
so it
Proud of
was a,
you.
it was a huge thing in
Yeah,
in a boarding school.
yeah.
So this was right after boards. तब
Hmm,
2011 वर्ल्ड कप चल रहा था हमारे 10
hmm,
स्पोर्ट्स के टाइम पे.
hmm,
I remember जब I got to know that my phone is caught, that day was India versus South Africa,
hmm.
and हमारी हाउस मिस्ट्रेस ने हमें अलाउ किया हुआ था कि हम देख सकते हैं मैच. तो
हाँ,
उस then the first reaction I had was that she's definitely going to ban us from watching it, and अब तो phone भी नहीं होगा to get the updates.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then that suspension happened, and I had, after boards, I had to be home, and I, wrote to goal.com, and they they were okay with giving an opportunity like an internship, and they gave me a topic. I wrote back. Also started a blog at the time, and I wrote to. I think at the time I was being a backbencher, being decent at activities, decent at studies, but still kind of chided from teachers, and like obviously given this big punishment, it gave me an unusual sense of confidence with, but along with, I don't know, some need for validation also. But I have to say that I think I was really confident, and I wish I had that confidence now as well. So I was able to just take that inertia, just take that momentum, and keep doing it again and again. So so I don't think I understood things well enough to have been nervous. Obviously, जब वो एक बार जाता था, I used to get excited, share it with friends, with Baba, with my parents, obviously, and yeah, I think it was I didn't really think too much. Also, it was more of something that I had envisioned for just a small period, which obviously continued.
I mean, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but I have to ask this. But goal.com क्यों यार? मतलब why football? You just mentioned that you went to basketball, you sang in the school choir. I mean, you were really into cricket because of how things were back home. But why start writing about football in the first place?
Okay, yeah, fair point. So in 2006 World Cup, I watched a little bit, watched the final, watched a few other matches, watched Spain ke matches. The Fernando Torres was also, he was, I think he scored 4 goals in that competition. Anyway, so I started getting interested a little bit. Then 2010 World Cup, I watched properly each and every match, and I got really hooked, and I got obsessed with football. Like once I think I watched one full match, I was like, there is absolutely nothing like this. I bought FIFA, computer pe bahut FIFA khela, got even more excited, more like more into the sport, more. I found it a lot. It was so fast paced compared to cricket, and I don't know. I got really, there's some like emotional connect that happened immediately. Fell in love with Gerrard, fell in love with Torres, and yeah, I think I was so hurt by Torres moving to Chelsea, that I started writing on that and started venting my thoughts. And that's how I think I put it on a blog format. Sorry. And yeah, then I wrote to Goal, because that was the only football website in India that I kind of knew about. And yeah, and the first article I think I wrote was also on Torres.
Oh, lovely. Goal is also one of the 53 publications which rejected me in 2008. 53. That's the number.
Wow.
No one responded. Yeah, Goal was nice enough to respond, but most people didn't respond. और मेरा तुम्हारे तरह नहीं था यार. Because I was desperate to find a like job or occupation to kind of fund my stay in Delhi. I was very desperate. I went door to door with a very, very funny resume. I wish I still had it, but it had things like was school captain and won man of the series in this inter-district tournament, which I really thought were big things back in the day, but they were really not big at all. But I'm so glad Goal happened. But after that, as in, how did you? You were still studying. You did your class 12. You did really well. You came to Delhi University. How did that continue? When did you kind of feel that, क्योंकि interest तो और भी थे आकृति, like I can
Yeah.
feel from when you talk about things, but when did you feel कि इसमें I would want to spend the majority of my day doing this, or working on sport or working in football for that matter?
Yeah. So I think once board examination got over, I
ये
had a
10th वाले
choice.
12th वाले
12th वाला but
12th वाले
10th
हाँ
वाला चलो गोल हो गया, and then school में
हाँ
वापस I went to school. I was not allowed to write,
हम्म.
but I used to do it in vacation and all of
why
those
why were
things.
you not
I
allowed to ride in school, by the way? Sorry. Yeah.
Because I felt that my teachers were just did not want me to have and enjoy
Oh.
something, and like that punishment just had to continue somehow. So I actually used to go at the pretext of researching for something. हमारे library में एक छोटा सा वो था, and I
Hmm.
used to write quickly there and send it in
Yeah.
because I was like I don't care, whatever means I find I'll do it. I used
Yeah.
to do it on my outings. I used to do it कोई भी अगर कोई भी illegal कुछ भी लाता था स्कूल
हाँ
में, और phones और laptops लोग लाते थे फिर भी,
Hmm.
तो my instead of going on like Facebook, which I also
Yeah.
did,
Yeah.
but this was also part of it, like looking up scores and doing
Hmm.
all of that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so then once the 12th boards got over, I had to sort of choose between taking up music
Hmm.
or doing sports. And if I knew that if I'm going to pursue sports journalism or sports writing,
Hmm.
then I would rather take up an academic subject instead of
Hmm.
doing journalism.
Yeah.
So then that tough choice between music and history, which was my subject of choice, came, because
Yeah.
by extension I mean sports only.
Yeah.
And I knew that I can only sort of pursue one passion properly. Like
Hmm.
if I want to have that focus and do well in one field, then
Hmm.
I can't be doing, like I can't be half-assing it.
Hmm.
Especially something like music, which requires proper dedication through the day. मतलब आप बैठ के आपको रियाज करना पड़ेगा, and
हाँ. Hmm.
opportunities तो कम हैं, but doesn't matter. My mom particularly really wanted me to take up music,
Hmm.
pursue that. uh, I think she still, while she's very proud of me, I think she still kind of feels bad that I didn't choose it. I went to Shri Ram Kala Kendra, did the entrance. I got through the first round of that,
Hmm.
but उसके बाद उनके और भी होते हैं, पर
Hmm.
वो then I made that choice कि
Hmm.
अब करना sports ही है,
Hmm.
and music देख लेंगे. For
Hmm.
some time I tried to explore it as an activity. Still used to go to
Yeah.
Green Park to take these classes.
Hmm.
Found a teacher in North Campus also who was teaching at Delhi University to make me to go once a week. But फिर वो नहीं हो पाता with other things, with generally chilling in college.
Hmm.
that kind of
Yeah. Hmm.
dedication that you need to pursue something like classical music especially,
Hmm.
उसके लिए फिर आपको बहुत बहुत serious होना पड़ेगा, and I just did not think that I would be able to do it, and I'd
Hmm.
rather focus on one thing only. So
Okay.
that's when I chose
कि
that मैं
तुम
history करूंगी because I enjoy it.
हाँ ये जो तुम बातें बोल रही हो ना, they sound music to my ears, and that's why I'm going to counter question you over here, is that
Yeah.
when you say all of this is happening, and I'll just put this timeline in perspective also for my understanding, you are 17, aren't you? You're 17, you're 18.
Correct.
You seem
18.
very clear. One, you seem very clear.
Yeah.
Two, there seems to be no mention of, say your parents objecting to what you want to do. Was that never
Yeah.
the case, or that's something that you're not bringing up right now? Were they completely
No,
okay with you saying pursuing a career in sports? Because it's not an easy thing to do. It's not it doesn't happen. It doesn't work out for a lot of people.
yeah. No, I have been extremely lucky
Yeah.
to have parents who have been only proud of me in whatever I've done. Like the even the suspension was not very hard hitting because my parents were like कि कोई नहीं, now you're utilizing this to do something else, it's fine. So my parents have been extremely supportive. They have also been very proud because they felt proud of me जब मैं रात रात जग के ऊपर वाले कमरे में जहाँ पे छोटा सा टीवी था, जहाँ पे पंखा नहीं था, एसी नहीं था, it used to be so hot like a hot box. मैं वहाँ पे बैठ के रात को मैचेस देखती थी, and they used to feel proud of just that of me watching sports. That's it, because they never had any interest in it. So they've always been very, the only thing they have perhaps objected to a little bit was the fact that I did not take up science in I left science after class 8, which also I have always been very clear. I knew that अगर मैं science लूंगी मेरे marks हर जगह कम होंगे. So I told them that, if I'm going to be so bad at like 2-3 subjects, especially chemistry, then I'm going to fuck up everything else. So they were like, "ठीक है," मतलब they felt thoda sa disappointed, but they were okay. So they've always been, even with something like my mom pushed me to do music. When I got when I had when I managed to work for the T20 World Cup in 2016, my exams were happening alongside. So I was, one day talking to my mom ki, I'm not able to manage. It's like it's quite intensive history. So she's saying, koi baat nahi, back mil jayegi, kya hoga? It's okay. Go for the match. So, they've been very supportive that way. Yeah.
And then, I mean, that support obviously kind of boosts your morale. It does not, however, land you a job. How difficult was that to keep finding new jobs, to kind of sustain yourself in a market or in an ecosystem which is very unstable, Akriti? Let's just face it, our ecosystem is not something which is very conducive to having a long career at one place. So how has that been over time? And was this something that you had envisioned while you were, because you sound very clear about the things you wanted, the way you wanted things to go, but had you envisioned doing this or having a career path which, for good or for bad, has been like this over the last 5 years?
No, actually, I think I always imagined to have been just writing, doing journalism. I think I envisioned myself to be working as a journalist, as a sports journalist in one of the publications in Indian Express or something like that. That's what I had thought will happen. But I think the one thing that I kept doing unconsciously or consciously, I don't know, but is the fact that I have always been very receptive to change in that sense. And I've not been very, I've always sort of adapted to what was expected of me. And I've always been I kind of broadened my horizons that I want to work in sports. Maybe, that is not something that I really want to do. After covering the ISL for the first season, which is where we met for our viewers and listeners, the next season I managed to work with the digital company that ISL has, and work as a digital reporter for them, which made me be more on ground and see, be closer to the team, see the operations a little bit closer, which is when I kind of realized that no, maybe I need to, maybe, writing is not something that I would love to continue, but I would rather be working more on the event side of it. And I think, one thing led to the other, and, had an open mind to changes that were happening, and also being receptive to opportunities that did come along.
Yeah. And what also tends to happen with a lot of people is that they kind of, from being sports fans like we both were, or I mean we both are, to working in sports kind of makes you feel a little disconnected. You kind of tend to fall out of love with a lot of things. Has that happened, Akriti? Or if I had to say, ask you, कि 5 साल पहले वाली आकृति as a sports fan ये चीजें मिस नहीं करती क्या? 2021 वाली आकृति कुछ चीजें मिस करती है? क्योंकि जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आई मिस अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स दैट आई रियली डिड नॉट एवर मिस आउट ऑन बिफोर. But does that happen with you? I mean, has a part of that fan that you were kind of mellowed down?
It definitely has mellowed down. I think it
Yeah.
has to. It would probably. I'm not sure if it would not mellow down in another field too.
Hmm.
It's, just growing up, or sort of getting busy with other things as well.
Hmm.
I think one thing that has definitely, that whatever field that you do, if you convert your interest or passion into a profession, it kind of happens for everyone across fields. Like, I know people who, the same thing is happening in music for them too.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen to music as much if you're
Hmm.
listening to, submissions through the day.
Yeah.
But 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 yeah, I think, yeah, definitely it has. I would, like, for example, I missed the Manchester City versus PSG game yesterday. I would have never done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The fatigue kicks in. I remember that in my interview with Javier,
Yeah.
uh, in the 2017 LOC,
Yeah.
2017 World Cup. Yeah,
Yeah.
he asked me what my motivation was to be
Hmm.
working in the tournament. At the time, I said that because I love football,
Yeah.
and he was nice enough to he did sort of correct me in a very nice way,
Yeah.
saying that if that is your motivation, then it's not going to stay for too long, because if you work in this field, you will get disillusioned. I I think that he was partly correct, that it obviously, you see things much, you're on, you can see things closely, you can see what's wrong as well, and then generally I don't think it is that appealing. But I feel that I too was right, because so far I think that love for the sport is kind of sustaining the rest of it. Like, that is the core of it, and everything else is just, if I did not love it, I think I am in that position that I would leave it.
Yeah.
I would pick up something else. I'm flaky like that. I'll just stop, and I'll try something new.
But
Yeah.
do you choose to persist with this? I mean, like you said, you're flaky, you can choose to be somewhere else, but you also choose to persist with this. Is that something which is a conscious decision, or do you not feel like working in something else right now? Is that because I have heard this, and I was really, that line has stayed with me, that passion does not pay your rent. So I'm sure you can choose to be, or take another career option which might say pay better for that matter. And
Hmm.
do you choose to work in football or sports uh,
I
consciously? Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I do. I am choosing to work in it for sure. I honestly feel passionate about multiple things.
Yeah.
I I do not think my passion is. I don't think that it has to be for one thing. I don't think. I think in our limited life, we are allowed to love multiple things and feel very strongly about multiple things.
Yeah.
So the reason why I choose to be in this is because I feel passionate. But tomorrow, if I'm like, I'm looking to learn. I'm always looking to learn something, and I'm always looking for an opportunity of growth. And if there is something that I can feel equally excited by, waking up and getting to work, I think I will give it an equal shot. Uh, yeah,
Fair
that's what
enough.
I think.
Fair
What
enough.
about you?
And uh, it's very weird because uh, I've always prioritized sports, and growing up, sports was my only outlet. If I'm making sense, I don't know. I mean, uh,
Yeah.
I was decent in studies. I was just very nervous while appearing for an exam, and I think I was very nervous playing as well. But I think I managed to do things in tidbits, which kind of made me believe that I have the aptitude to do something in sports, and that's how I started working in sports. And something that you mentioned and you acknowledge, but something which kind of I'm very scared of is that suppose if I start doing something else today, I would perhaps be not making the same amount of money that I do while working in sports, which has happened over
Yeah.
a period of time. I mean, I've worked for 13 years now. So obviously it counts for something. When I started working, I used to get paid 3,500 rupees, which seemed a lot then. But if I mean, would still make 3,500 rupees, I wouldn't know what to do. So I can't go back to starting from scratch. That's my fear. And, and hence perhaps I'm reluctant to let go of a career in sports. I mean, I'm sure there'll come a time where I would want to pursue a career in something else, and I try and do things on the side, but I keep my staple employment in sports because that's something that I've grown into over a period of time. So I'm very scared. I'll be very honest about it, and I'm very insecure about uh, making less money, struggling
Yeah.
to kind of I remember this, Akriti. I didn't have a laptop because you've asked this. I didn't have a laptop when I started writing for publication houses, and I used to get paid 3,500. Most of that money used to go at cyber cafes because I had to go and type out whatever I had researched, right? And on the 19th day of every month, when I was not in the hostel, which was 2 months a year, on the 19th day, my money would exhaust my my food money would exhaust. So I had to walk every day to Chandni Chowk Gurudwara, eat there, come back. I just don't want to go back to a situation where I am short on money as well. And hence I'm reluctant to give up on an employment in the sporting sector because I think of 12 and a half, 13 years of working in this,
Yeah.
I would not suddenly get paid very less again. So I'm very
Yeah.
blunt and honest about it, but that's why I don't want to stop working in sports. I do, however, want to work in or at least pursue things which I'm really into as well. And I was going to ask you about that, say literature, say history, music for you. Are those things that you still manage to find enough time for? And how do you,
Yeah.
what's your outlet? What's your inlet and outlet? How do you consume it? And how do you kind of, do you discuss it with friends? Do you have a set of people who you'd want to write and express it with?
Yeah.
But what's your inlet and outlet?
Firstly, I think that is a very honest and very genuine answer. I think that's why you should probably. I mean, there is someone who said that you should uh, start if you just one day you want to quit your job. Don't do that at night. Do this whatever you are thinking, whatever you're fantasizing about. Do that as a side hustle. See if it can grow, and then only quit your job because people can get very zindagi na milegi dobara and just
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
go
Yeah. Yeah.
completely quit and start.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's a very honest and genuine practical sort of practical advice. For me, I think I do manage to keep the music love alive through a publication that I run with a couple of friends called a Humming Heart. We we sort of cover mostly Indian independent music, and we write about it, we talk about it. We also have an artist fund through which we manage to get whatever money that we do get through our membership program. Uh, we give some of it back to an artist
Hmm.
who can further use it for their music. So I have managed to sort of consciously keep music as a part of my life, and I
Yeah.
think that it has been extremely important. It has helped me a lot, especially in the last year when when our sports world was just it was hit so
Yeah.
badly, and being home, being away from stadiums, it really helped to have something else to fall back on.
Hmm.
And also, not just last year, just generally it's also nice to be able to just keep that as a active part of my life.
Hmm.
The rest of it, of course, reading about it, discussing with friends, having like-minded. For history, for example, we have obviously from our college friends who are very passionate. Who also one of my college friends, he does these old Delhi tours and all also
Hmm.
uh, guided tours. So it has been a part through that, through consuming books and just keeping it alive through with friends. But obviously it's hard to in right now. It's easier to say that everything can be done. You can listen
Yeah.
to podcasts, you can walk, and you can read, do all those things. But when your life, when the old normal is back again, and everything is like running like clockwork, you have to actively make time for it, which gets difficult. Yeah.
So something that I've wanted to ask through this interaction is कि पढ़ने का टाइम निकालना पड़ता है या पढ़ने का टाइम निकल जाता है? Because I can sense that you really like reading.
Good question.
हाँ.
Yeah. When I'm reading something, when I'm in the flow, तो वो अपने आप फिर वो निकल जाता है. But these kind of gaps come in quite a bit जब बिल्कुल कुछ भी करने का मन नहीं करता है. And obviously अभी recency bias है, जब the times that we are going through, अभी phone के अलावा and laptop के अलावा scrolling, उसके अलावा it's very difficult to focus on anything else. So then what I have made it kind of a rule is that once I wake up, I get I make chai, and then that chai time is exclusively for reading, and I hope that even that kind of continues after the chai is over also. So in the morning I make sure that I take some time out, especially on days जब वो organically नहीं, जब the book is not if it's not a page turner, तब तो आप you're reading through the night and doing all that. But अगर वो नहीं है तो I make sure, because I think that reading बहुत मतलब it's so important. I've started something called this year, which is just today I learned, where every day I write down in my diary what I learned in that day, which can be a life thing also. Like मेरी motor खराब हो गई थी, तो I learned how to fix it. So, or something that I'm reading or I'm picking up through anything. So just like there is so much to consume, so much out there, that if we don't take out time, I think we are really missing out on a lot. So कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ना जरूरी है, in my opinion now.
But that is absolutely something that I believe in as well. But has reading or music or sports ever been a release, Akriti? Because you talk about all these three, and did you ever feel it was a release, say, for your Baba when you were growing up around him? Did you feel that when he was frustrated, he was reading? I mean, because we tend to do a lot of things when you're frustrated. I mean, people would perhaps choose to smoke a cigarette. People would, they're all very different things. But I'm just talking about a release mechanism over here. कभी गुस्से में किताब उठाया है कि ये पढ़ूंगी तो शांत हो जाऊंगी?
That's very interesting. Actually, I don't think so. किताब तो मैंने नहीं उठाया है. मैं म्यूजिक जरूर चलाया है. स्पोर्ट्स जरूर देखे हैं. Sports has been a coping mechanism for grief on many occasions. Like after my dadi passed away, that's how I sort of it helped. I think watching पुराने Ashes के highlights, or on other occasions also. So sports has definitely been a coping mechanism, has been an escape. Music has been too, but I actually cannot think of picking up a book. I do have some, like some things that I have like a couple of poems that I have handy. There are a couple of articles that I really love, which are again about advice from an older person to a younger person. But there are a couple of poems. There are 2-3 of these which I have kept in handy to help with release. To that end, if I may, one
go on.
कि एक there is this author who talks about having pockets of stillness in your life. So it's always very helpful. What I've started doing is that मैं journal करना मैंने और ज़्यादा शुरू कर दिया है. So writing actually is a form of release for me, not reading, but and also writing about things, not when you're angry, but have a list, what this pocket of stillness in your life handy, of things that you just love to do. Generally, not when you're angry, but things which you love, which something that you can pull when when you need it. So yeah.
So you talk about sport being a release, music being an indulgence which helps you kind of cope with things when they're not going right. How much of a release or coping about talking about these things or talking about life in general is talking or sharing with people? Can be friends, can be parents, can be a partner, can be anyone for that matter. But how much of
Yeah.
talking uh, about either of these things or about life in general is a release as well? Because we are in like really grim times right now, and you are right that a lot of things are just not happening right now. Things that you would want to do, but things that are happening are perhaps things that we are natural at doing, right? So,
Yeah.
how much of say talking or sharing is a release for you? Do you do that? Do you do that with people who you are very? I'm assuming you would only do that with people who you are very fond of. But how much of it do you do? How much of you? How much do you open up? How much? I don't know if I'm framing it correct, but how much do you tell people about what's going on in your head?
So expressing, I think expression is a big thing for me. I love to express my thoughts.
Hmm.
I love to express it to on the internet. I
Hmm.
used to love it even more before before uh, I had to become more sensible.
Yeah,
As you know, I
that's the
love
right.
the idea of,
Yeah.
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 I love the idea of unfiltered thoughts going out, and which is
Yeah.
very, very dangerous
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
uh, Not just in politically correct times, but generally also. Like,
Yeah.
you should not always say what you're feeling, but I love the idea of expression.
Yeah.
I do that. I feel that I am most comfortable expressing on paper, on
Okay.
not like, while writing.
Hmm.
Uh, and I managed to do it. A lot of things that are very private to me, I'm strangely okay with opening up to, putting myself out there and opening up to strangers about it.
Okay.
Um I can put it up as a post. I
Hmm.
don't do it because I feel that it's a little full of yourself. It can be perceived as that on at times,
Hmm.
but I'm very okay. Like, I miss the old times where like blogging was so common, right? Like,
Yeah.
people were just doing it, and you read some of people's old 2008, 2007 blogs. They're
Hmm.
beautiful. They are like, uh, they're so unfiltered. They are so, it's actually like, just you are able to gauge their entire world
Hmm.
through these writings. So I love that kind of personal writing a lot. I think I do that. I I'm not very comfortable sharing bad, or low moments with
Hmm. Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
with close, like with my parents,
Yeah.
with I do that a lot with my boyfriend, with my sister.
Yeah.
I'm able to share anything. I'm very unfiltered when I can do that, but I'm not, and with friends also. But I feel somehow strangely more comfortable putting myself out there for everyone equally at once
Hmm.
than, say, doing it personally with one on one with people.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a
Weird.
very no, that's not weird at all. I think that's very honest, and
Yeah.
it's very. I think it's very common as well that we're not very comfortable sharing things that are not all rosy, if that's the right way to
Yeah.
put it. हाँ, मतलब पॉजिटिव चीजें शेयर करना काफी आसान होता है. काफी लोग नहीं करते
Mm.
हैं. काफी लोग इसलिए भी नहीं करते हैं कि नजर लग जाएगी and letting know of too
Yeah.
many people about your
Yeah.
happiness might not be a good omen and things like that. But it's very refreshing when people manage to do it. I think that's very nice. But yeah, very very intriguing, Akriti, and thank you for taking time out. I usually ask people to list down sporting moments or sporting incidences that they were a part of, that they would wish to be a part of. I wouldn't do that with you because this has been a very freewheeling kind of a chat. And thank you again, and talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me. This was a release.
This was really fair तुम अनफिल्टर्ड और भी बातें बोल सकती हो अगर तुम्हें बोलना है तो. I mean, no
नहीं
one's
नहीं,
gonna mind
बस
over here.
we can have a part two.
ठीक है, we can have a part 2 for sure. Cool. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.